Yeah, just like as soon as he like grabs his arm around you, pushing against, I feel like the shoulders and the upper arms it can make it very difficult.
Can you show me? Come here. Fine with me. Stop. Okay, go ahead. So he's using that.
Yeah.
Perfect. What happens if you can continue to control that hip, continue to do the drill, and go north-south?
It's like the normal.
Yeah, so we're gonna get that. That's okay. Yeah. There you go.
All the time.
So that's where we're gonna ultimately get to. You see where your head naturally wanted to go?
Yeah.
Into that hip?
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. But
I'll chip you with that.
yeah, right? We're gonna start World War III over here. Okay, what else? Yes?
The bottom leg kind of frame splits.
The bottom leg, what you trying to show me?
What am I doing? So here. Yeah, this comes in.
So he's controlling this grip here.
Yep.
I would probably not allow that to happen or try. Yep. So whenever you're doing this with the hand, think about this in general, right? Anything I do on my feet, it's super fast, right? Like super duper fast, right? Anything I do on my knees, not as fast. Anything that I do on my hips, Wallace, makes sense to everybody?
Yeah.
The inverse is the best base, medium base, worst base. So when we're in a speed type scenario, then that's probably what I'm going to try to use. So meaning when he's got that, there is no, it's just like, quick, right? Like, okay, he's got that grip, break it out, smack. It's a version of like Toriano. Make sense? Yep. Yes.
The high step.
Yeah,
High step.
the stiff arm and the back step, and the knee.
You show me?
Sure.
Bring your burner out. Hold hands.
Gott.
Go ahead. I can hear. Sorry, it was not.
So bringing that up. So what's happening here? Why is this stopping?
Getting out his hips to the floor.
Because, I'm sorry, 2 minutes. So one,
Shut down, saying
you shut down his hand, you shut down the control of the hip. Is that where you're kind of going? All right. +5 golden dragon points. Everybody that asked the question, +5 golden dragon points. That's a great defense.
Any question?
What's that?
Any question?
Stop it. So that's exactly right. So he's on his feet, he's controlling from a far distance, he's going to try to use speed again. If he gets that in, perhaps he circles around. We're not married to this, we're not forcing this, especially on our feet. When we get to a lower base, then perhaps we try to force it, if you will. God, I feel uncomfortable even saying that. But in this case, boom, 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 we're moving through it. Okay? Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, I didn't get it. Got it. Okay, does that make sense? But that's a great defense. They're killing the pocket. We're trying to control that topside hip. They're trying to not allow us to control that topside hip. Okay, we're gonna move on because otherwise I'll just keep talking about topside hips. Next drill, we're gonna find some space. We're gonna get to our elbow. And we're gonna move around. We're gonna do the same thing. Let me see you guys do that. 1, 2, 3. Say most people have to raise your hand if you want to go dragon point. Okay. I hope you guys will keep track. I have no fucking idea. Going off very fucking golden dragon. Okay. So again, we're getting close to the floor. Therefore, we're gonna get better base. Additionally, you're gonna be able to add more weight, which could equal more control. Does this make sense? All right, let's get a medium-sized legs. You're holding the camera. You don't have medium-sized legs or you're short. All right, look at you, German ass, and get over here. All right, just, what do you mean? Have you been here in the class? You know what you're fucking doing, man. What do you need me to do? All right, so we're gonna, this way. Okay, so now instead of a hand controlling weight, just brace yourself 1 second. Now we're gonna be down here. Okay, the angle, you okay? Yeah. Get your balls? Yeah. 10 golden tomato. I got 10 there. What was that? Okay. Precise. Yeah. All right. So instead of being here, trying to dance back and forth, well, now I've decided to add more weight at the elbow. Okay? Your ass may be less in the air, and perhaps you're driving a little bit more. Not necessarily, because we want creativity. I don't want to tell you how to do this, but perhaps, right? And perhaps you found a way in and you drop. You see what happened there? You see how he turned? All right. So, forearm this time. And then perhaps, instead of just worrying about getting here, trying to get a normal side control, if you will, see what happens when you start adding weight and you go into more of a north-south position. Okay? And play. The more you play, the more information that you will get. The more information that you will get, the better decisions you can make. Anybody disagree with that? Awesome. Let's go do it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm glad to hear it. What questions do we have? Yes.
When you have someone really long, when you act like I was going more softball,
Yeah.
but something was always there. There's a couple of danger points, but.
Can I come back to that question? Because I have that planned in my thing. So great question. I should have said ask that question like 5 minutes. All right. Next.
I find it quite easy to stop and drop the elbow by putting my hand in
The answer to that is going to be constantly circle, because this becomes a detriment. So anybody that's taking a class from me, where should my elbows be? Home is like you're carrying heavy groceries. So I love that you know that, but not here. I'm going to be really particular. Be particular. Yeah, not here, but here. Here it's easy to start to push in, which then creates space. Here, you can't do that. Additionally, almost everybody, especially dudes who lift long weights or guys, their shoulders are like this. Yeah, he's gonna let it up the bench. But when your shoulders go forward, when your elbows are open, they can start to torqued in, and this is going to lead to bad posture. Elbows back, eye facing forward, etc. Okay. 1 second. I'll get to your questions. Sound good? Okay, so if he's like this, his elbows are away from home. The way that I think about jiu-jitsu, elbows home in a defensive or neutral position. Now, when you're like this, are you being offensive? No. Probably not. Maybe, and if you are, then win whatever battle you're in. Yeah, right. Correct. So if anybody's ever framing away like this, move your body to stop. They're probably going to frame in a strong place. Move your body to a weak place and then attack those hard things. It becomes a real problem. Okay, so just in general, again, just taking my class, elbows home, defensive or neutral, and you can do all this shit. Play T-Rex and stuff, but if you're going to be offense, cool, just win that battle. Yes.
What was your head position on that last pass that you were doing?
So this is where it gets into, I'm not sharp teaching this yet, because the next piece is going to be head position. Instead of forearm, it's going to be forearm head / head. And hypothetically, it's going to be in the pocket of that head. Okay. So we want this hand / forearm, possible shoulder or head to fill the pocket of that hip. Mm. So that's where it would be. I just haven't got that. Okay. You guys, 3 golden dragon points apiece for being ahead of the game. Great question. Cool. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Any other questions on the forearm? Easier or harder? Easier. Easy. I think it's easier to coach. I think it's easier when you haven't played it. Maybe for my game, just because I like to be quicker. The hand is actually the most beneficial. But we'll get there in a second. Okay, so the next piece is that. and that. Actually, I'll get to that. That's what come out here. Okay, so he's got like really long, freakish legs, really dexterous, right? And if somebody's really short, this is fucking perfect for somebody who's got long limbs against a short person. They all fade. Who's like, anybody super short here? Yeah, come up here real quick. Just give me 1 second. Okay, let's see. Okay, so if I get this, like my arm is almost as long as his leg, right? And in that case, it's really difficult for him to do anything with this leg as I kind of bring this through, right? So I can kind of just circle around it, right? So if you're tall and lanky, this should definitely be a part of your game. Now I'm gonna answer that question. Swing. It's obvious I like to pass to one side. Okay. So if they have longer legs, it's going to be very difficult for me to try, to do stuff like this, and especially like if I'm trying to clear this, it's difficult. Okay. So I need to do some tricks. So it's either going to be pushed down, it's either going to walk through. Maybe I go bring it to tension and step over it. Whatever the case may be, I need to play within the legs. So instead of being like this quick thing, if you will, I need to play with the danger of this and try to use my leg to somehow pass. Does that make sense? So it may be taking this arm, pushing that down, and then utilizing the legs to pin. I get creative sometimes I'll roll through. Come here. Do weird shit like this, control it again. But regardless, you have to get in there. Still try to control, but unfortunately you have to deal with that leg a little bit. Okay, head position. We're gonna do the same drill. We're not gonna use our arms. We're gonna do a head spin. You got half of it. Yeah. 5 golden drinking points for coming with the breakdancing. Yeah. What we're gonna do is that if you're worried about your neck, what I suggest is supporting it with your shoulders a little bit. And if it is a real concern, don't do it. I'm not gonna have somebody like that. Right. Let's just see, let's do it by ourselves and see if we can do that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What I'm concerned with, unfortunately not concerned about should have been on the top. That is not how I got this ball club. You should try to keep your spine straight. Anytime that you compress your neck, that's not good. Especially if somebody's under pressure, not exception. Other clap. All right. So it seems like people got it for the most part, and it's not exactly the same because it's not a stagnant thing. But we are going to go ahead and play with this. Can you? Yeah. Okay. So now we're playing, especially. Well, look at just stay exactly there. This is his. This is not planned. This is him natural. Judson has an excellent guard. Very, very difficult guard to pass. Just look how he's. Couldn't plan this. It's fucking not allowing me anywhere close to that body. Right? He's like, fuck this. That was just natural. Right? Trying to show me up, bro. Okay. So again, I now have his longer legs, so I'm gonna have the same kind of problems that you may. So maybe I started here, I started moving. You see how my feet were in? And then, I started out. If he's not trying to control either one of my arms, I'm gonna do that all day until I die. Okay? But he's got this long leg. I feel there's kind of an active connection there. So now I go for the forearms. Okay, now he's winning this kind of, come on. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, now this is the problem because you see I was kind of compressing my shoulder down. That's not going to allow me to put a ton of weight there. Therefore, I'm starting to lose the control of the hip. So I'm going to reinforce it with my head. So I'm here, I'm trying to drive through. Okay, now we got to still play these games, whatever it happens to be, but I'm going to reinforce it with my head and never let that go. So my head is driving into that hip, pretend you're trying to flatten him out, staying as a wedge, so he can't bring that back up. So if I don't keep that weight as I'm passing through, and Judson will just do it naturally. He starts doing that kind of stuff. I'm just gonna. Okay. So I started here, and I was playing. He's got really good guard. He's killing that. I can't get in there. I was able to pummel in. Now he's kind of winning. Reinforce. Control that top side hip. Figure out how to pass. And north-south may be a good answer. What happens if he just goes with it? And we're here. Oh, roll. No, that's cool too. Make sense? Head, wedge. What's the one thing that we're trying to take in this class?
Control the hips.
5 golden dragon points. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. All right, well, so I've given the whole class a dragon point. How do we get questions? Comment, sir. I saw a lot of good stuff there. That was really nice. Chuck and Mark. Oh, no. Just throw it away. Absolutely. Okay. No questions? Yeah.
Me too, Michael. I worry about making my head happen.
Chuck and Mark.
Like, they throw a leg over or something. And then, like, not as people try and hope it would be the leg over or something. I don't know.
If you have weight on the hip, it's going to be very hard for them to do that. Yeah. What you may have to worry about is that you're getting like a chin strap grip and start pulling head and kind of doing that kind of stuff. Why don't we take a little side detour for funsies, shall we? Come back out here. Okay. This is going against how I normally answer the questions. This didn't come up with a question, but it's probably no, right? So one thing is, what if I'm controlling here and my elbow just decided to take a vacation? It's not home, right? It's not being offensive. You know, it's at work, neutral. And he's like, you know, this is kind of a nice place to go for Kimura. Right? And he goes, rah! And he goes for Kimura. This could be a problem. Right? Go ahead and keep that grip. So the first thing that I'd like to put forth, go back real quick. So if my arm's like this, pointing out this way, super easy for Kimura. If I just go like this, now my elbow's still not home, but he goes for a Kimura, much more difficult. So first, that, okay? Super easy, fairly easy. Back. So I never, almost never, I hate saying always and never, right? No, that's just not true. All right. So my elbow is constantly trying to come back, or I'm able to do this. So as he goes for this, even if he gets it, I'm not really in danger of him finishing. And in that case, I still have this hip. And maybe you poke your opponent in the eye. You know, I think that would work pretty well. You have the fun of being a rookie. Right? Maybe then you start collapsing into something a little bit more smashy, right? Because he chose that. Additionally, if he does get a grip, I love these, like, somebody, I forgot whose class it was, like you have the reverse Kimura that you can kind of come up. Like, I like that, but I don't, for a bunch of different reasons, but what I prefer to do is bring my body back to my elbow and start adding weight to the shoulder. And this becomes a problem. Very difficult for him to finish. And then a lot of times I can start to move, keep that shoulder and start to move that way. But it's not that classic. Okay, so that's one thing that you could worry about. Second thing, if I'm just using my head, you're gonna chin strap me. You're gonna grab, knock that right around my head. Yeah. I'm not really in danger there, right? So most of you would probably think that a good defense for a guillotine is to be cross-side body, right? That's where I am. If you're wrong with me, you probably want like that's that pretty quickly. Even on that flat side body, but there's not a ton of people that fucking nerd out of guillotines like that. So you're not in ton of danger, but if you feel like it, just come back, adjust that, start back. Okay, that makes sense? Okay. Last but not least, what if our partner isn't playing this kind of go? Sitting up. Okay. Well, we're gonna go into just a little bit different. I'm gonna control, let's see, what is the best way to show this? Okay, we're just gonna do it and then maybe rotate. I'm gonna take my opposite grip on the wrist, try to control the head, spin, and have my head land in exactly that same position. So we're playing, just for shits and giggles, I'm like, yeah, we're playing, grab, rotate, one that way. So he's playing a seated guard this time. Cross. For a split second, I have control, and I'm just gonna find that pocket. If this is professional grappling, I'm shooting my fucking head away, right? If we're just kind of playing around, make sense? Should we get that one to try? Let's try. 1, 2, 3. For me personally, it's tough. I didn't have all the answers to the questions. All I want to do is some of the finer details, which challenged me. Everybody seemed to have a good time, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.